Hi, I'm Kyle McNeil with Texas A&M Engineering Extension Service. Today we'd like to take a little bit of time today and talk to you about how to make your home a little less susceptible to break-in. There's no such thing as making a home totally burglar-proof, but the idea is to make it harder for a burglar to get into your home so that they'll seek other opportunities in other places. With vacation time coming on and different times that we're leaving our house, what we want to do is we want to make our home appear that everything is normal and that we're there, and we can do it in a lot of different ways. Plain and simple, about every 14.6 seconds a home is broken into in the United States. Interestingly enough, they can get in through windows, they can get in through doors, but 1/3 of all burglaries are because they go in through an unlocked door. We forget to lock our doors sometimes. We become somewhat complacent in what we do. So our focus is to talk about how to make it a little bit harder for somebody to get into your home so that they'll go and find a much easier target. We want our homes to look like we're still here, so there's a lot of things that we need to think about doing. First of all, one of the things that we don't want to do is continue to establish patterns that let other people know we're not home. An example of that is if our lights go on at night and they go off in the morning, then we want to make sure that they continue that pattern versus being on 24 hours a day. It's that time of the season where the yard is growing pretty fast, then I need to see to it that the yard gets mowed regularly, so that one of the signs that a lot of people will look for is a yard that's unkept, one that's normally meticulously manicured, and then all of a sudden it's overgrown, and that can be an indicator that we're gone, maybe for a couple of days of vacation, a week or two. We also want to consider our trash cans. Do we leave them? Are they in the normal place? Are they out on trash days? Are they back in instead of being out 2 or 3 days at a time? We also want to think about our mail deliveries. Mail deliveries continue to happen. Our Amazon deliveries, etc., things like that show up at our doors. We need to make sure that, number one, the mailbox isn't full, and that anything that gets delivered to the home is quickly put away and out of sight, out of mind. So it becomes important for us to establish that second thing, and that's talking to our neighbors, letting them know that we're going to be gone. Another thing that we want to look at is cars in the driveway. If I tend to leave my car in the driveway all the time when I'm home, and it's gone with me to work during the day, that starts to establish a pattern that people can start to look at. If that car stays in that driveway for a week at a time, they may sense that either, number one, I'm not going to work, or I may even be out of town. What we want to make sure is that those patterns that we've established, those normal living patterns when we're home, remain the same, and that we don't have something that looks unusual occur for 3 or 4 days at a time, because that's an indicator too. Because a lot of times, not only these are opportunist burglars, but it may actually be people that have kind of watched the place for a couple of days too to determine whether or not you're home. One of the other things that we want to think about when we're gone, and that goes back to making the house look lived in. So we want to think about normal light patterns that we would normally see from outside the house. So a great opportunity is with lamps and timers. So we can use timers to turn lights on and off, turn them on during the regular hours that we would normally be up, have them go off which would be our normal sleeping hours. Most of the televisions nowadays have alarm systems in them and programs where we can have them turn on at certain times and turn off at certain times. Set your television so that it will turn on during the time that you would normally be watching television and turning off at the time you would normally go to bed. So it again gives that house the appearance of being lived in.